Tell you what, cooking's so much fun, but buying food is fun too. How many of you like to go to the store? All right, but you got to do the right things. You got to pick out the right stuff, and you got to use your head when you go to the grocery store. Let's go take a trip to the grocery store. Just follow me. We're going right here. Look at the size of this apple. It's incredible. It's called a John Gold, which is a combination between a Jonathan and a Golden Delicious. It's huge. It's one of the biggest apples I've ever seen. You'll see a lot of things like this at Food Pyramid. They have a great selection of produce items. And it's my favorite aisle because one reason is because I can smell the fresh produce, but also all of the great things and the nutrition that's in this aisle is wonderful. It just sustains us forever. Now, my favorite thing is romaine lettuce. I really love romaine lettuce. It has vitamin A and it's very good for us. Now, red leaf lettuce is really good too. It's a very good lettuce to get. Always search for the greens when you're with your parents to look for the great things that are in the produce aisle. And then this is an unusual one that you don't see a lot. It's called butter lettuce. It's kind of a little bit more expensive than the other, but it has a very good flavor to it. It's called lamb's tongue too, so a lot of people really like to get that for special occasions. Now, many times you'll see people buy this. It's called iceberg lettuce, and the reason they call it iceberg is because when they packed it in the north when they grew it, by the time it got to the southern part of the United States, it was floating around in the ice, and it looked like icebergs floating, and that's how they got the name. So always look for the green. Green is really good for you. Now, I always like to get my vitamin C from oranges and grapefruits. They're very good for you. I like to pick out my own, and when you pick out your own, you can pick different ripeness. And so, because I know I'm not going to sit down and eat all these oranges at the same time, so I go through and I pick one that's really ripe, and then I see one that's not quite ripe yet, and I can tell by the feeling of it, because I know in a couple days that it will be ripe. So if you pick all of them the same ripeness, then you won't, they'll taste different as you go through the week, and you want fresh produce. Now, I love to eat carrots, and there's a lot of different ways that you can get carrots. Now, you can get a package of baby carrots, and baby carrots are just big carrots that are chiseled down into smaller carrots. And so they're chiseled down into small carrots, but this is where you get your vitamin C. I'm one of those unusual people. I like to eat the carrots with the skin on because I like the way the skin tastes. It's very good, but when you cook, you need to peel them. Then also there's mushrooms that are very good for you, and I enjoy mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms are grown in Oklahoma, and these are really good things. They're a fun guy, but they're really good for your system. And then the final thing is that you'll see this label, organic, on some of the produce. In some cases it's really good for you, but what organic means is that there were no pesticides and no chemical used in growing these, and so they don't have those things that might interfere with it. When you get an organic banana, it really doesn't matter because you take the peel off of it, so you're just paying a lot of extra for this label right here. But some things it does matter. Most of the produce, if you take it and you rinse it when you get home, it's really good and you don't have to worry about it. So spending extra for organic. But I'm going to head out and see what else I can find in my favorite aisle.